There are moments in life when you wish you could peel back the surface of someone's smile and see what they're really thinking, not to control them, but to protect yourself, to understand their motives, to know whether their presence in your life brings growth or danger. People say you can't read minds, but that's only true if you keep asking the wrong questions, because human beings are not puzzles you solve by force. They are mirrors that reveal themselves when you adjust your angle of inquiry. And sometimes all it takes is 3 questions to see a person more clearly than they see themselves. The truth behind the mind, every person carries a hidden world, a world of unfinished stories, unspoken wounds, unhealed fears, and secret ambitions. Most people hide it behind politeness. Some hide it behind confidence. A few hide it behind silence. But there's a truth psychology has proven again and again. Ask a person the right question, and they will answer with their entire identity. Not just their words, their tone, their hesitation, their confusion, their excitement. Everything reveals what the eyes try to hide. A simple question on the surface, yet it cuts deeper than most people are prepared for. It does not ask about long-term plans, grand ambitions, or the identity someone has carefully constructed for the world. It drills into the present moment, the raw, unfiltered now. And in that moment, truth becomes harder to disguise, because what a person wants right now reveals their emotional landscape far more accurately than what they claim to want in life. Most people spend their days walking with desires they never examine. They want comfort or validation or escape or recognition or silence or connection. But they rarely articulate it. They feel it as restlessness, uneasiness, or inner noise. When you ask someone, "What do you want most right now?" you are not asking for a polished answer. You are asking them to confront the state of their mind. That is what makes this question powerful. It bypasses their story and taps directly into their current psychological climate. When someone responds instantly, with clarity and conviction, it tells you something about how they navigate their inner world. A person who knows what they want in the moment has cultivated self-awareness. They observe their emotions without drowning in them. They identify their needs instead of waiting for someone else to guess them. Their clarity is not arrogance. It is alignment between mind, emotion, and intention. But most people hesitate when faced with this question. Their eyes shift, their breathing changes, their thoughts scramble to find a safe answer. The hesitation itself is data. It reveals internal conflict, suppressed desires, or a fear of being exposed. Some want something they believe they shouldn't. Some have never allowed themselves to want at all. Some are so used to performing for others that the idea of speaking their truth feels dangerous. There is also a category of people who answer with what they think will make them appear strong, ethical, or admirable. These answers are usually vague. I want success. I want peace. I want to be better. These are not real-time desires. These are socially approved scripts. When someone gives a rehearsed answer, it shows they are more concerned with image than truth. They may want acceptance more than progress, and they may fear judgment more than stagnation. On the other hand, some answer with surprising honesty. I want someone to understand me. I want a break. I want to feel safe. I want to stop overthinking. These answers reveal emotional fatigue, vulnerability, and unmet needs. They show a person who is tired of pretending. Their truth may sound simple, But simplicity is often where the deepest wounds hide. What someone wants in the present moment also reveals how they cope with pressure. A person who wants relief is overwhelmed. A person who wants clarity is confused. A person who wants distance is overstimulated. A person who wants connection is lonely. Each desire is a signpost pointing toward the emotional terrain beneath their behavior. This question also uncovers whether a person is driven by internal motives or external pressures. If their wants revolve around other people's expectations, approval, praise, acceptance, it shows a mind shaped by dependency. They pursue what keeps them included, not what keeps them fulfilled. But if their wants are intrinsic, growth, rest, meaning, expression, it shows a mind tuned into its own rhythm. The way someone answers can expose their priorities. A person who wants control is guarding something. A person who wants silence is overwhelmed by noise. A person who wants answers is wrestling with unresolved confusion. A person who wants freedom feels trapped by circumstances, responsibilities, or their own habits. Human desire is rarely random. It is a reflection of what the psyche is fighting or seeking in that moment. The real strength of this question is that it does not ask for the correct answer. It demands the real answer. And in a world where most people live behind emotional armor, truth is a rare and revealing thing. Even when someone refuses to answer or laughs it off, that reaction itself says something. Avoidance is a response. Silence is a response. Deflection is a response. Each signals a different kind of fear or confusion, a different reluctance to be seen. Asking this question of another person allows you to understand the hidden motivations guiding their choices, their behavior, and their emotional reactions. Asking it of yourself forces you to confront what you've been ignoring, postponing, or denying. It brings your unconscious desires into the light of awareness, showing you what your mind has been reaching for beneath the noise of daily life. This question does not simply ask about fear. It exposes the architecture of a person's inner world. Desires reveal direction, but fears reveal the forces shaping that direction. When you ask someone what they want, they might give you something they hope is acceptable. They might decorate the truth. They might choose a version of themselves they feel comfortable presenting. But when you ask what they fear will happen if they don't get it, you bypass the surface entirely. You step into the territory where their defenses weaken, where their subconscious begins to speak, and where their true emotional wiring becomes visible. Fear is honest, even when disguised, even when softened by language. The tremor in someone's voice, the pause before speaking, the shift in their energy reveals everything. Most people navigate life trying to appear composed, unbothered, unaffected. But the moment you explore the consequences they imagine, the moment you ask them to walk into the scenario where they fail, lose, or fall short, their authenticity comes to the surface. The mind cannot lie easily about fear. It is too instinctual, too primal, too deeply woven into survival. Some people fear losing control. Others fear losing connection. Some fear being seen as inadequate. Others fear being invisible. The particular fear tied to a desire shows you not only what matters to them, but also what threatens their identity. If someone says they want success, the fear of not attaining it tells you why. They may dread insignificance, instability, humiliation, or the return of a past version of themselves they fought to escape. If someone wants love, their fear exposes whether they crave companionship or merely fear abandonment? Desires show the wish, fears show the wound. This question also reveals a person's relationship with uncertainty. When someone answers with catastrophes, ruin, rejection, failure, they may be living inside a mind trained by past pain. Their world is still shaped by unfinished trauma, but when someone cannot name a fear at all, it often signals denial, avoidance, or emotional suppression. They have been trained to silence their inner world, believing that admitting fear equals weakness. The absence of an answer is not confidence, it is disconnection. Some people answer with fear that reflects perfectionism. If I don't get it, everything will fall apart. Their fear shows a fragile identity built on constant achievement. Others answer with fear of loss. I'll feel like I'm not enough. Their fear reveals long-standing insecurity. Some fear stagnation. I'll feel stuck in the same place forever. Their fear reveals a restless, ambitious spirit afraid of wasting its potential. Each fear acts as a window into the emotional narrative shaping their life. Fear also exposes attachment patterns. If the fear revolves around losing someone, it reflects emotional dependency or deep relational wounds. If the fear revolves around losing opportunities, it reflects a scarcity mindset shaped by past deprivation. If the fear revolves around losing dignity or status, it reflects the fragile structures of self-worth constructed from external validation. To ask this question is to watch someone's internal architecture rearrange itself in real time. The emotional intensity of the fear tells you something too. A mild fear shows a flexible person capable of adjusting, adapting, and recalibrating their expectations. But a fear with urgency, panic, or desperation attached reveals someone who has tied their identity to an outcome. They don't just want something, they need it to feel whole, safe, or secure. Their fear exposes where they are emotionally over-invested, where their self-concept is too tightly wrapped around a single result. Sometimes people answer with fears that are not logical, but deeply psychological. I'll disappoint people. I'll prove them right. I'll fall behind. These fears show that the person is not fighting for a desire, they are fighting to rewrite an old story. They are fighting ghosts. The fear is not about the present, it is about an unresolved past demanding to be completed. Understanding these fears can reveal the emotional narratives controlling their decisions, relationships, and habits. This question can also bring out fears people didn't realize they had. When they begin speaking, they may uncover layers of themselves they have avoided for years. Hidden expectations, subconscious assumptions, limiting beliefs, they all surface when someone is asked to imagine loss. People think they understand their desires, but they rarely understand the emotional stakes behind them until they verbalize the fear attached. And even when a person speaks calmly, the subtle shifts in their tone, the tension in their voice, the way they minimize their answer, or the way they elaborate excessively shows you the truth. Fear always leaks through the cracks. It reveals where someone feels powerless, where they feel unworthy, or where they feel threatened. It exposes the emotional shadow behind their ambition, kindness, strength, or confidence. Ultimately, this question does not just expose fear, it exposes the depth of a person's self-awareness, the honesty of their inner dialogue, and the emotional patterns that shape every decision they make. This question moves a person out of imagination and into identity. Desires reveal direction, fears reveal vulnerability, But this question reveals character. It forces someone to confront the truth about their discipline, their limits, their values, and the lengths they are prepared to go when life demands a decision. It is a question most people avoid, not because they lack ambition, but because they fear discovering the gap between what they dream about and what they are truly willing to endure. When you ask someone what they want, they may answer with enthusiasm. When you ask what they fear, emotion rises. But when you ask what they are willing to do, their whole psychology shifts. Suddenly the conversation is not about fantasy or imagination. It becomes about action, responsibility, sacrifice, and commitment. Many people don't realize how little they are willing to do until this question confronts them. Their desire may be loud, but their discipline is quiet. Their dreams may be big, but their willingness is small. This question exposes that contrast with relentless accuracy. For some, the answer comes with determination. They speak with clarity, outlining the steps they are ready to take, the hardships they can endure, and the sacrifices they accept. Their readiness reflects internal alignment. They want something deeply, they fear losing it, and they are prepared to move. You see in them a spirit that can evolve, adapt, and grow. Their words mirror a mind that understands that nothing worthwhile comes without effort. Their willingness becomes a window into their resilience. For others, the answer is hesitant. They speak in possibilities, not decisions. They talk about what they might do, what they should do, or what they hope to do. This hesitation reveals a mind caught between desire and fear, longing for an outcome, but uncomfortable with the price it demands. These are individuals who want a different life, but their routines, habits, and beliefs remain unchanged. Their willingness is conditional, fragile, easily shaken by obstacles. Their answer exposes the ongoing negotiation between their ambition and their avoidance. Some respond with ambition that has no foundation in discipline. They say they will do anything, yet their actions tell another story. When someone claims limitless willingness, it often reflects impulsivity rather than strength. They speak from emotion, not commitment. This exaggerated response may reveal desperation, insecurity, or the illusion that wanting something intensely is the same as working for it. This mindset is driven by fantasy rather than grounded in tension. Others answer with moral or ethical clarity. They know what they want. They know what they fear, but they also know what they will not do, even if it means losing the opportunity. This reveals integrity, someone whose identity is more important than their gain. Their willingness is shaped by principles, boundaries, and a strong sense of self. They are not willing to betray themselves in the pursuit of desire. Their answer tells you their soul is not for sale. Then there are those whose answer exposes hidden selfishness or opportunism. They reveal a willingness to manipulate, posture, or use others to achieve their goals. They may not express it directly, but their tone, wording, or rationalizations hint at it. This reveals a dangerous pattern, a person who sees relationships, trust, or ethics as tools rather than values. Their willingness tells you not only what they want, but what they're capable of when driven by desire. This question also reveals someone's understanding of effort. Some people think effort is a short burst of energy, trying hard for a moment. Others understand effort as persistence, a long-term commitment sustained through frustration, setbacks, and fatigue. A person who is truly willing will talk about consistency, adaptation, and learning. A person who is not willing talks about hoping, waiting, or relying on luck. Their answer shows you whether they live in the world of action or the world of wishful thinking. Equally revealing is the emotional tone of the answer. Confidence shows readiness. Fear shows internal conflict. Indifference shows lack of connection to their own desire. Over-eagerness shows impulsivity. Cold calculation shows hidden motives. Every word someone uses reflects the deeper patterns shaping their behavior. They might speak of sacrifice, time, comfort, relationships, ego. They might speak of discipline, waking early, enduring discomfort, facing rejection. They might speak of boundaries, refusing to compromise their values no matter the cost. Each reveals a different psychological blueprint. In truth, this question is a mirror. It reflects back to someone the reality of who they are beneath the masks, dreams, and fears. It uncovers how they confront adversity, how they make decisions, and how they navigate the gap between intention and execution. It shows you whether their desires are rooted in determination or fantasy, whether their fears control them or motivate them, and whether they move through life with purpose or with excuses.